Hello, writers. My name is Tennyson E. Stead. I am a working screenwriter and a working script doctor, and welcome to The Right Stuff. Ever since Athens was the center of Western performing arts, really since the invention of show business itself, it has only taken two things to succeed in show business. And as much as people like to talk about market trends, and as much as people like to talk about new technologies, the two things that it takes to succeed in show business have never, ever changed. So I want to make sure that we talk about them here, because if you're practicing these fundamentals, it doesn't matter how technologically savvy you are. It doesn't matter whether or not you're chasing the latest distribution model or the latest screening technology, because you're going to keep succeeding. Every modern business theory is built on the relationship between risk and reward, and the idea that the higher a risk is, the higher the potential rewards are, as long as you're willing to do the work of reaping those benefits, okay, and controlling the things that can go wrong. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in show business. Okay, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people involved in any given production, and any one of those variables is an opportunity for failure. But when you step back and you look at the big picture of how each of those variables actually works, we're basically dealing with two fundamental risks. On the one hand, there's always the risk that a show could suck. There's always a risk that it's not going to be good to watch. And when a show isn't good to watch and people see it and they talk about how it's not good, you start having problems as a show person. People stop showing up for you. The other thing that can go wrong with the show is that people might not show up. You might tell everybody it's time to buy tickets and nobody buys tickets. You might tell people it's time to build a set and nobody comes to build the set. If people don't show up, you have problems in show business. Okay? But if people are always showing up, and if the show is always good, you really don't have problems. There may be an act of God situation that impacts the success of X or Y show, but if people are always showing up for you, and if what they get when they arrive is always worth showing up for in a big way, you're going to keep succeeding. Your success becomes sustainable at that point. So our job is to make sure that people keep showing up and to make sure that the show is always good. There are two things it takes to succeed in show business. One of them is strength and craft. You have to constantly be building yourself into the person who can do what you do better than anyone else, and who can provide what you provide for the people around you better than anyone else. If you're a writer and you're always writing the best stories to act in, which is absolutely what 90% of the content on this YouTube channel is about, then actors start to rely on you for the quality of their performances, because your strength and craft is empowering their strength and craft. They're able to build on top of what you've created instead of fixing what's wrong with what you've created. And everybody always wants to be in that position. And if you're constantly doing great work, and if all the other people around you are also, if you're surrounding yourself with people who do work as good as the work you do, then the experience that audience members are getting when they show up is going to be absolutely phenomenal, regardless of what show you're putting on. So strength and craft is vital. At the same time, no matter what a good craftsperson you are, you need people to show up when you ask them to, which means you need a strong community of support around you. And I'm going to tell you right now, the strength of your community, it's not the market that you're tapping into. You can't rent someone else's community and expect that to work for you. People don't show up because you're making a science fiction show and people like Star Wars and Star Trek. They're not going to show up for you because of that. You could hire a big star who has a whole big community of support around them, but if that star is not themselves actively acting as an ambassador for you, if they are not invested in bringing their community in its totality to whatever it is that you're doing, you're not going to benefit as much as you're hoping from the presence of all those fans. What makes people show up for you, bottom line, is your necessity to them. You have to make yourself necessary to other people. And I'm not just talking about the audience. I'm talking about your collaborators as well. A big part of my career and my success has been the necessity that I've built for myself with other show people. Other show people rely on me to be there and do the things that I do and be the person that I am, because I have been consistently providing for people and helping people to the extent where if I'm not there, something's missing at this point. And they know that, so they make sure that I'm there. That helps me get paid. That helps my needs get taken care of. Personally, building that sense of necessity with my audience has actually been a challenge for me, but it's something we all have to figure out. Okay? So, strength and craft and strength and community are not... Building a strength and craft that makes us truly necessary to other people, it means a lot more than just telling good stories. And it means a lot more than telling stories well. It means understanding the craft of acting and writing characters that lean into and depend on the fundamentals of acting and what actors do, as opposed to putting actors in a situation where they have to sell our writing. We don't want them to have to make up for our deficits. We want them to be empowered by the work that we do and to be able to build on top of it using the best of what they have to offer. Building strength and community, likewise, isn't as simple as marketing. It's not as simple as getting the word out. It's not as simple as getting people interested or even invested. It's about doing the work of making ourselves vital and necessary in the lives of the other people that we are hoping to impact through our work. But if we do both of those things, and both of those things they're life choices. This isn't a career. This is an investment in a community. But if we do the work of making that investment to the degree that I'm talking about, then your success really does start to become inevitable. You start to become part of why show business is what it is. And other show people and audience members begin to rely on you for that. And that's where careers become sustainable. So, strength and craft, strength and community. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what we're doing here on The Right Stuff, please remember to like and subscribe. There's going to be a lot more of these short form videos coming down the pipe as time goes on, so stay tuned. And I look forward to learning with you. Take care.